Have you ever felt a sense of oneness with the divine? If so, you may have already experienced the 8th limb of yoga, Samadhi, integration. Hi, my name is Michelle Fondin, and I'm the author of 12 published books, including The 8 Limbs of Yoga for Modern Times, a practical guide to the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. This book is available in paperback, Kindle, and Audible books. If you're new to my channel, I want to welcome you here. Thank you for subscribing below so you never miss a video on mind, body, spirit health. Click on the bell so you get all notifications. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up and please put something in the comments below, even if it's thank you for the video. I teach meditation and I have a freebie for you. You can download your free chakra healing guided meditation. It's from my book, Chakra Healing for Vibrant Energy, and you can download that at the link below. If you've been watching my study on the 8 limbs of yoga and the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, we're finally here. We're at the 8th limb of yoga, Samadhi, integration. This is oneness. This is the final stage that most practiced yogis wait to attain their entire lives. I'm going to read to you the Yoga Sutra pertaining to Samadhi. Samadhi is when the object's essential nature shines through as if devoid of form. Yoga Sutra chapter 3, verse 3. This is incredible. This is the moment of transcendence. If you watched the videos on the 6th and 7th limbs of yoga, Dharana and Dhyana, you know that I mentioned that they cannot live in isolation. Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi are one in the same because the process is immediate, if you will. Meaning, if you are on the track of one pointed attention, you are going to feel moments of absorption, which will lead you to the feeling of integration. It's difficult to separate the experience because often the experience comes pretty much at the same time, even though the practiced experience may be an extension. For example, if your object of attention in the 6th limb of yoga is the flickering light of a candle, of a lit candle, and then you're feeling like that flame is within me and I am within that flame, that would be the 7th. But then when you become the flame, that would be Samadhi. And so what it is that when we conceive of the objects outside of us being actually a part of us, and the recognition of the soul, the unity of the soul in both objects, yourself and the other, and realizing that there are really no barriers, that the barriers are artificial. The barriers are put there by the mind, the intellect, and the ego. And so when we realize, oh, there's no barriers here. It's not really a barrier, that the soul in that exterior object and the soul within me is the same thing. It's the same soul. My teacher, Dr. Deepak Chopra, when he used to talk about this, he would say it's like drops in the ocean of consciousness. So one drop is not going to look at the other drop and say, you're not the ocean. They're both the ocean. They emanated from the ocean. And so they're both oceanness, even though they may separate themselves as a wave or a drop. So that is the same with you as your individualized soul recognizes that it is not really an individual soul, it's a part of a whole. It is a part of unity, of oneness, of one soul. Now, I know if you haven't conceived of this, it is extremely difficult to comprehend. And you might start by comprehending it on an intellectual level, which BKS Iyengar states that that is actually the right way to start to conceive of this, is on the intellectual level first. Because often it's through reasoning, through the intellect, that we're able to then allow ourselves to have the experiential knowledge of unity, the experiential knowledge of oneness and total absorption, total integration. And when we allow ourselves to let go and have that perfect experience, that's when we can experience transcendence. And this happens already. Have you ever been watching a beautiful sunset and you were struck with wonder and awe and you fell into perfect unity with the universe and everything in it? It was almost like that one moment felt like infinity. And I'm sure you can think of other examples as well. Let me know. Let me know in the comments below if you can think of other examples where you experienced that. You experienced that unity consciousness, even if it was for a glimpse, a moment in time. And the word yoga, of course, means union. The word yoga is to yoke, to bring together, to unite. The union of mind, body, soul, spirit, everything that is you, but also everything that is everything else that is a singular breath. It's just everything is everything. And it's not like we look outside of ourselves and say, that's a phone, that's another person, that is another planet, that is another country, that is another car. No, it's all emanating from one singular source of consciousness, expanding outward, but one singular source of consciousness. And so when we really realize that, not only on the intellectual level, not only through logic and reasoning, but when we really feel it, then the object of our observation can dissipate, can disappear, and we see the similarity, we see the sameness. I don't even know if similarity is the right word here, but we see the sameness in that object, whether it's a person, place, animal, or thing, right? And we see the sameness. And so that object that we fix our attention on dissipates. It like disappears. The physicality of it disappears. And what is left is the soul essence of it. And that is the whole point and purpose of yoga, guys. That is the whole point. That's the whole purpose. If you get that, you get it. And I write that several times in my book, this book right here, right here. I write that several times in this book, not to be annoying, not because I didn't know I was writing it time and again. Of course I knew I was writing it. If you want to get to know yoga, this is what you need to know, is samadhi. This is what you need to know, is once you get it, that is it. There's no further searching necessary. And that is what all the great sages knew and know. That is what Patanjali, in writing the Yoga Sutras, knew and does know. It's all of that, right? Every single great speaker on the topic of transcendence, self-realization, knows this. They know that beyond samadhi, there's nothing else to know. Because once you integrate the idea that there is no separateness, you've got it. Like you have 100% got it. And you can just go about living your life joyfully in bliss, joy, because you have that knowing. In the beginning of this book, I have a quote. It's very simple, but extremely profound. And it's from the Shivatashvatara Upanishad. Wake up from this dream of separateness. Wake up from this dream of separateness. That is the beginning, the middle, and the end of the Yoga Sutras and the 8 limbs of yoga. Like I said, when you've got that, you have it. So many people throughout so much of their lives seek the truth. They become seekers. They become lifelong seekers. They hop from discipline to discipline. They hop from healing modality to healing modality. They hop around. They get certifications in 10, 20, 30 different things. From past life regressions to Reiki healing to this, to that. And they're constantly seeking. And what are they seeking? They're seeking this truth that I talk about today. They are seeking this truth that when you observe the object of your attention and you see that object of attention dissolves before you and there's nothing left but source and the oneness that is you with that source, that's all you need to know. And like I said, when that happens, you experience bliss, joy, supreme joy, which is the goal. It's spoken about in the Upanishads. Supreme joy. And when you can live like that every day, that's a beautiful way to live, right? How many people do you know in your life who live in supreme joy every day? Even in the midst of struggle, even in the midst of pain, even in the midst of a diverse planet, right? They live in extreme joy, supreme joy every day. But that is the goal. That is the goal according to the Upanishads, the Yoga Sutras, and the 8 limbs of yoga. So go forth today with this beautiful knowledge of the culmination of the study of the 8 limbs of yoga and know that truth, that once you achieve this, there is no more seeking. No more seeking. You've got it. Awaken from this dream of separateness. I want to thank you so much for joining me here today. Thank you for subscribing to my channel below. Click on the bell, scroll up to all for all notifications. Thank you for giving the video a thumbs up. Thank you so much for your support of my work. You can purchase one of my 12 published books. You can go on my website. I have plenty of courses. I teach meditation. I have some freebies for you there. And I will see you in the next video.